We have breaking news. The Cowboys have just made a shocking trade, sending Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers in a blockbuster deal. Now, this changes everything for the Cowboys this year and beyond. We'll get you all the latest and the trade details right here on Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews to a video that I never thought I would have to make, but the negligence and idiocy of Jerry Jones rears his ugly head once again. We're going to have so much to talk about. We're not going to get to it all on today's video. We're going to have a bunch to break down, including the trade details, but make sure you hit that subscribe button to be here for the fallout of this trade. We've noticed that 86% of you who watch these videos are not yet subscribed. Go down there, hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. You'll get the latest Cowboys news and all of the fallout from this trade. Here is the tweet. I wish it was fake, but it unfortunately is not. Ian Rappaport has it saying the Cowboys are trading All-Pro Micah Parsons to the Packers, and they agreed to a 4-year, $188 million deal done by a list of his agents, including $136 million. Now, this is a $47 million per year contract, and Micah Parsons is now the highest paid non-QB in the history, and Dallas, in return, is netting 2 first-rounders plus a player that we'll talk about here in just a moment. But initial reaction, good for the Packers, I guess, because who wouldn't want to pay Micah Parsons besides Jerry Jones? There was a host of teams that would love to play Micah Parsons, and guess who the one team that didn't want to pay him was? His own team, the Dallas Cowboys. And I just wonder what is going through the head of Jerry Jones right now. He realizes that I don't care how the season goes. The Cowboys, for all I care, could go to the playoffs. Unless they win a Super Bowl, this is not going anywhere for years. Years. This is going to be in the history books for one of the most mismanaged, dumb situations that Jerry Jones has ever tried to pull, because he continues every day to try and play owner and GM when I'm not sure he knows how to play either of those roles, much less GM. Obviously, it's a very unfortunate circumstance for a lot of different things, and Micah Parsons is going to be playing in Green Bay for the next 4 years, and including this year, which is just fantastic for Cowboys fans who get to watch him. And, the Green Bay Packers have had a long history with the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, Dez is no catch, and other playoff games, Mason Crosby, other things that have happened throughout the history books. But this one might just go down as the worst one for Cowboys fans, because you're sitting here and if you're fully in Dallas, we're watching Luka Doncic leave, thinking, man, thank God there's another idiot GM in Dallas that, is not as dumb as Jerry Jones. And then Jerry says, hold my beer, buddy. I'm going to make a trade that's even worse than that. I'm going to send Micah Parsons away when we have the money to pay him. We're the Dallas Cowboys and we have the cap space to pay him. Of course we do. But we don't want to do that. In fact, he might get injured. That's what I heard. He might get injured. Let me talk about his injuries during training camp as well. Let me make that the forefront of everything. Not that we're not going to pay Micah Parsons when he has continuously tried to come out and say, sign me. I will take less than the money that you are offering, but sign me. It is absolutely ridiculous what this has gotten to, and now he's gone. Micah Parsons will receive $62 million in the first year of his new deal. Congratulations to Micah Parsons. $120 million is going to be fully guaranteed, and a total of $136 million of it is going to be guaranteed. All records for non-quarterbacks. Thank you, Adam Schefter. Micah Parsons last year was a menace when he was on the field. 12 sacks, 13 games, obviously had the injury, but I never thought in my wildest dreams that we would see Micah Parsons not wear the Cowboys uniform on the field again after the end of last season. Didn't cross my mind, didn't have a single thought about it. I didn't even have a thought about it when the contract negotiations weren't going that way. I thought for sure that we would realize how dumb this is. Jerry Jones would realize how dumb this is. Now, there was a report that came out today that said the Cowboys offered a $6-year contract, $260 million. Again, that was just the agreed upon deal that the agent wasn't present for. It's really, really dumb. And you have media personalities talking about the absolute idiocy of Jerry Jones. Adam Schefter saying, since Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys in 1989, he has only traded away one player immediately after a Pro Bowl season, that being safety Thomas Everett in 1994. And now Micah Parsons becomes the second, not after a Pro Bowl year, after fighting for this team, fighting and putting his literal like body on the line. It'll make it. Micah Parsons puts out a statement today. You can pause to read it. It's really a lot of the same things he said in the first, tweet, talking about how, he wanted to play here. He never wanted it to get like this. He never wanted this chapter to end, all that stuff. So it's on Twitter. It's across social media. It's the last ever thing that Micah Parsons is going to tweet out with the Cowboys logo on it. And, you can pause it. You can go read it. I've read it about 10 times at this point, and I care not to read it once again because it's just simply put a very, very frustrating situation all around. I do want to say that, congratulations to Micah Parsons. As a Cowboys fan, it obviously sucks, but knowing that he's going to get paid and basically just kind of flip the bird to Jerry Jones, fine. I hope this is the only thing that I can think at this point is that Jerry Jones, this is a wake-up call. Maybe I'm off put. Maybe there is different opinions. And if so, put them in the comments section. But I think the best thing we as Cowboys fans can do would be to go to the first home game and to absolutely do everything to boo Jerry Jones. Have signs made to say, sell the team. It makes no sense. The team hasn't been good really in the past 20 years. The team always has these high expectations. They're never able to live up to it. I'm not going to say that Brian Schottenheimer is a bad hire. I think at the time, we all thought it was a different thing, but I like what he has done with the team. However, we don't exactly know what the other options were, and now there's this, along with a host of other different issues. We're talking about the past 2 seasons, even just last year, with the time it took to get Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb on new contracts. The frustration is there, and us as Dallas sports fans continue to get to see our players just go away from us for no reason at all. Literally, this has all happened in 2025. We are 8 months in, and 2 of the most influential sports figures in all of Dallas, I would argue the 2 most influential sports figures, besides maybe Dak Prescott, are gone. Obviously, I know this is a Cowboys show, but I know a lot of people watch this. They're in Dallas. They're living. They're realizing that this is a whole thing. So I'm sure you're asking, what exactly did the Cowboys get back? Here is the trade package. It includes 2 first-round picks and what they called a frontline player. Don't think it's a frontline player, in my opinion. Here it is. Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Just so we're aware here, here's Kenny Clark's stat line last season. He had 1 sack. Man, what a frontline player that at 4 tackles for loss. That's my replacement for Micah Parsons, all right? That's my guy. Oh, man, we got him, Jerry. What a trade for you. What good job. I don't understand. Had a whole article put out on NFL.com, Nick Shook saying, quote, while Dallas has notoriously developed a habit for waiting to pay its best players, a split between the 2 parties simply wasn't fathomable because of what was thought to be one simple truth. No team would willingly part ways with a player of Parsons' caliber, especially not as he's just entering his prime. Enter Jerry Jones, the idiot of the NFL, the clown of the NFL. Quote, as he's done throughout the course of nearly 4 decades spent as Cowboys owner, an example is the 1989 Herschel Walker trade, Jones decided to go against the grain with his deal. In the staring contest between Parsons' representation and Jones, the world-famous owner refused to blink. The ripple effect of this decision could stretch far beyond the 2025 NFL season, and I 100% agree. This is not something that gets resolved in this upcoming year. This is not something that goes away after the season. Micah Parsons, I want to remind you, is 26 years old. He is going to be in the NFL for, I would say, at least another 8 years. So that means there's 8 seasons where there is going to be a black cloud over Jerry Jones' head, especially if Micah Parsons continues to be Micah Parsons level. We go back to the details of the trade. Kenny Clark is the guy coming back. Obviously, that was last one season ago. He had the 1 sack, but it's okay. He had 7.5 sacks in 2023. He's also 30 years old. That's great. As a defensive tackle, that's always a prime time year for him, right? That's a good one. 4.5 sacks from 2017 to 2019. He had more than that. 2020, obviously, COVID year, all that stuff. I'm not going to count too much behind it. 4 sacks in 21, 22, 2023 was his best season of his career. 7.5 sacks, 17 games all played, 44 total tackles. A little bit shy of his most in his career, but still 7.5 tackles or sacks rather. So it's I don't know if there's much else to say other than I don't get it. I don't get this trade. I don't get this tweet. Having to look at this, it's making my eyes bleed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know if this is something that you're happy for. I mean, even if you wanted Micah Parsons' trade, even if you are in the camp that said he was acting like a child, he was being a baby, and that he needed to be, you traded off because you shouldn't act this way. If you were in that camp, you have to understand this is not a good deal. 2 first-round picks are great, but what the Cowboys wanted was a guy who was going to affect the team immediately. A defensive tackle on Kenny Smith is not going to affect this team immediately. It's not. It's not. That is all we got for you today. Once again, hit that subscribe button. We're going to have multiple videos covering this. The fallout of this entire trade is going to be monumental, and we're going to have it all covered for you right here on Cowboys Digest. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Peace out.